check out our shirt on Teespring.
The gentleman died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
Well, how did the poison get in the wine?
Well, we put it in wine because it's less noticeable. When it's in tea, it has a distinct odor.
In the Hollywood classic Arsenic and Old Lace, two kindly old ladies run a boarding house where they practice a rather eccentric habit, poisoning and then burying elderly tenants in their basement. A comic plot line that was turned into a real-life horror story in Sacramento, California once upon a time, as a stunned nation watched as body after body after body was exhumed from the backyard of an old Victorian boarding house.
And I definitely smelled it. And I guess it only lasted for a couple of weeks because I don't smell it anymore, but I definitely did. If somebody would have told me it was a dead animal, I would have believed them.
But what was discovered in the yard of that boarding house on Sacramento's F Street were the bodies of 7 elderly, low-income men and women, buried in shallow graves by that rarest of criminal commodities, the female serial killer, a woman named Dorothea Puente, a grandmotherly 62-year-old boarding house operator with a criminal rap sheet like both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Back in 1948, when she was 19 years old, she was arrested for forging a check.
And then in 1982, she was convicted of poisoning an elderly guy that she met in a bar. She took him home, slipped him a Mickey.
She was pulling at least 1 or 2 rings off the fingers of a man who was paralyzed from whatever had been in the drink that she had given him, and he was aware that she was doing that.
She's a waste of skin. I do not understand how people can live like cannibals off of other people.
She's not some satanic monster, hell-bent for killing people.
Puente's lawyers, on the other hand, adamant that their client was not a monster, more a Mother Teresa figure who took in society's outcasts.
You know what Dorothea did wrong in this case is exercise bad judgment. That's about as worse as she has done, is exercise bad judgment.
How do you, with a straight face, say that?
Because that's the truth.
What bad judgment did she exercise?
By not picking up the phone and telling the police that so-and-so died here and please do something about it. Okay?
She knew that these people had died in her home.
Well, I'm going to cut that one off right there.
And the problem with the case for prosecutors, with bodies this decomposed, no direct physical evidence to link Puente to the actual killings, but plenty of evidence of Dorothea collecting and cashing the victims' Social Security checks long after their deaths.
The murder charges notwithstanding, she's been stealing from helpless old people all of her life. And that is not the mark of a nice person.
Author Dan Blackburn wrote a book about Dorothea and the horrible harvest on F Street. He's also one of the few to ever do an interview with Dorothea.
I don't even know what I'm going to do when I get get out, because there's no place I can go without being known.
Yeah, well, if you didn't do this, you're going to get out.
I didn't.
But in the end, Dorothea found guilty of 3 of the murders, and this gray-haired grandmotherly serial killer given a sentence of life behind bars.
So on my way, okay, pretty much Dorothea ran a boarding house in the 1980s, and for mostly the elderly and disabled. Dorothy was born in 1929 in Redlands, California. What makes her story notorious, from the span of 1982 to 1988, she did most of her murders at this house coming up. Also, she buried the victims. They're saying that she may have killed 29 to 15 victims, and in the media at the time called her the Death House Murdered Lord. During this time, a bunch of also her story is based on a bunch of true crime stories, like True Crimes, These Women, A Stranger in My House, and The World's Most Evil Killer. inspired loosely based on a movie that came out in 1991 called Evil Spirits, but it's basically loosely based on her. Dora died at 88 at the Women's Correction Factory in Coachella, California. So here's the house. It's an addition did a story about the couple that lived here. They had really good humor about it. Pretty much, they're saying that their the main room they're staying out was the place where she stored the bodies. I don't know how many people she killed at a time. And right here said, "Do not park across the driveway. Ghosts don't like to get out." So they have pretty good humor. The other side, trespassing will be dug up and buried in the yard. So they used to have a mannequin of the lady in front of their house, but it's like that's gone. And cool little Superman here. Also, she buried some of her victims in the front yard right here. It used to be a plant, but I'm not sure the new neighbor took over or not. That's kind of cool. Housing. So pretty much how it looks today. It's an interesting story. You can look up the true crimes and these women, learn more about the story. I kind of gave a short story of it. Right next to is like the 3 libraries. So here it is. I'll go across the street a little bit, get a better shot. So once again, the address is 1426 F Street in Sacramento, California. I think I heard that once again the people who own this place is like see there's some really humor. They're trying to have tours of the place. They have like murder tape, crime tapes around their property. They have really strange humor. Once again, they used to be mannequins of the corrupted crime dog and the lady did the murders. So yeah, this is like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Maybe do better next time. Thanks for watching. Some cool place to check out in California. Get a chance.